In the future, it's illegal for poor people to run. The moment Mike realized this, he stopped dead in his tracks. But it was already too late. A notification popped up on his phone, informing him he'd broken the law. When he looked up, a fully armed police drone was already hovering right in front of him. After verifying his identity, the drone pulled out a pair of metal handcuffs and ordered him to put them on within 5 seconds. Mike thought about trying to bluff his way past the machine, but the system could analyze his facial expressions and tone of voice, and it figured out he was lying almost instantly. When the suspect kept making excuses, the drone pulled out a stun device, ready to take him down by force. Since this was all happening out on the street, a crowd started gathering, and Mike quickly became the troublemaker in everyone's eyes. In the end, he had no choice but to put the handcuffs on under the drone's watchful gaze, with no idea what was coming next. Once he was brought to the prison, the first thing he saw was an empty tray. Anyone who'd been through the system knew the drill. Every suspect had to hand over their personal belongings before being processed. Mike was frustrated, but he followed the procedure and placed everything he had into the tray. As soon as he was done, the system whisked it away. Next, a prison uniform was delivered to him. Following the automated voice prompts, Mike found his assigned cell. When he stepped inside, the system automatically scanned and confirmed his identity. And once everything checked out, the handcuffs released on their own. For an extra $75, he could upgrade to a luxury single cell. But that meant nothing to Mike. What he desperately needed was a lawyer to defend him. Except even the cheapest one cost $10,000. Of course, there was another option for those who couldn't pay. If he pleaded guilty within the allotted time, the system would automatically reduce his sentence. But if he refused to plead guilty within 7 days, he'd be facing 45 to 47 years behind bars. By this point, Mike was absolutely terrified, and the system just kept repeating the same cold, robotic question: guilty or not guilty? If a suspect still refused to admit guilt after 3 months, the system would automatically enter a guilty plea on their behalf. During that window, Mike had exactly one chance to hire a lawyer, and that was his only shot at ever getting out. Hearing all this, Mike immediately tried to call his mother to borrow money for a lawyer. But what he didn't expect was that even making a phone call required waiting in line. He figured 10 minutes, tops, but after 3 agonizing hours, the call still hadn't gone through. Eventually,